Hi, this is Rakesh and you're with Stronger with Rakesh. In this time and other times, especially at this time, I want to talk about something important. A lot of people write about that, which is loneliness. So it's not exactly stress, it's not depression, but it is kind of connected. But have you noticed that there are very successful people who are doing otherwise very well in life? They're not supposed to be lonely at all. Very attractive people, whichever way you look at success and attractiveness. They're very attractive people, but they're very lonely. And you can see this by how they hide loneliness. People go to bars to chat up other people. Now they sit on Tinder. People sit on Facebook. They spend a huge amount of time on Instagram. And the whole endeavor, the whole attempt is actually to connect to others so that you can share a point of view, have a conversation. If you do it once in a while, which all of us do, it's kind of okay. But if you do it consistently, obsessively, that's a sure short sign of loneliness. And we are very good at hiding our loneliness. And that's also the insidious nature of loneliness, because it's not a disease in the traditional sense. It's not like depression. It's not like having, a heart problem. It's not like having a problem with your body, with your limbs, with your mind. It's insidious because it's just a feeling, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's even difficult for you to admit to someone that you're actually feeling lonely, because the admittance of that I am feeling lonely puts the onus somehow on you. That there is somehow I'm not good enough, therefore I'm lonely, there is something wrong with me. One of the ways in which I'm able to see other people's loneliness is how their social profiles are. You see it on LinkedIn, you see it on Facebook, you see it on Instagram. Their real personality is very different from what they try to project, which is this happy-go-lucky, very adventurous, quick-witted, whatever. There are different avatars people take. There's a whole industry around it. But that whole attempt is actually to hide that important fact that you feel lonely, you want to connect. And loneliness is very closely connected to this idea of feeling somehow not with it, little worthless. I'm in a position of life where I feel kind of I don't deserve it, or I've come here by accident, or I'm not worth it somehow. So loneliness and worthlessness or low self-esteem, kind of connected. They are not the same thing again, but they're kind of connected. And like I said, it's very insidious. And people can be lonely in a very highly socialized or social setting. I think the most unfortunate examples of loneliness are loneliness, for example, in a marriage, where the husband or the wife, they are married, they're supposed to be soulmates, or at least in love, or have a happy marriage, but they actually find it difficult to connect with the other person. And same is true for for parents and children as well. So I grew up feeling lonely, and there was no real reason for me to do that, except that my childhood experiences were such that I always felt lonely. I could not share my life and my dreams and my fears and myself with anyone. So early childhood experiences are cause of loneliness. But there is a lot of decisions one makes later in life, what I call the pragmatism of life, which causes loneliness as well. You find routinely people who have single parents have decided to take care of the parent, and then not get married, for example. Okay, you'll see a lot of that or you'll have a jilted lover, so to say. Some relationship went bad, and now you've decided not to be in a situation where there's actual love. And interestingly, there's a whole lot of 19th, 18th, 19th century English literature which is all based on this spinster syndrome. So and I've already mentioned about early experiences in life. But loneliness has a relationship with some other things, not the cause and effect, but has a relationship with other things, is a function of other stuff. And money is an important aspect of it. So you would think that having more money will make you, put you in a highly more social space, more people will connect with you, but it is not necessarily so. So money is not an answer to loneliness, though it looks like success and money is a solution to it, but it is not. And we all know that. But importantly, actually the act of making money might actually make you more lonely, because more money gets you more privacy. For example, you have the choice of meeting fewer people or the people you really do want to meet. You have to make more money, you have to be in some way kind of more mobile, so you might not stay in your home state or your hometown and move around a lot and so on and so forth. So you might actually end up making shorter term, shallower relationships as a result of it. So money is not a solution to loneliness, but money could be a reason to contribute towards that loneliness. And you will see that a lot with very successful people. Of course, it gets cut through to a point that you have to kind of cut out a lot of the world. A certain ruthlessness takes place. But either which way, money is a factor in how loneliness plays out in your life. But not having money is a much more important factor, because having money, you have the choice of surrounding yourself with whatever you want, and even if you don't, you still can live a comfortable life. But not having money puts you into a situation where the opportunities for you to actually have social company and people who will really care for you, that opportunity keeps on reducing. So loneliness has a relationship with money. It has got a bigger relationship with not having money. It has a relationship with age. The more we age, the more I'm going to be 50 in a year and a half maybe. The more you age, the more lonely you become, because the people who were around you and the context in which you knew them kind of withers away. So a lot of people, as we age, will simply pass on, or the people we knew are not in the same context anymore. You will know that from your engineering friends or your college friends or your MBA friends or people you grew up with, and now the context has changed, so you do not connect with them the way that you connected otherwise. And there's another kind of response or result of this loneliness, and I see that a lot, which is a very skewed kind of familial relationships people build. I'm guilty of that as well. So you build a family-like relationship or a familial relationship with somebody who's not really your family, and in some way deep down, you're actually trying to address that same loneliness. But so loneliness is something that is very common, it's very insidious, it has a real effect on people psychologically and physically, but it's something that you must be aware of. So you find some ways to address it, and I think the only way that I've been able to kind of address it in a way is, one is acceptance. Accepting that you are a lonely person, or you are alone relatively, puts you in a place where you can find that this is something that you want to fight against and you want to do something about it, or this is a comfortable place for you to be in. So acceptance is a major strategy, I think, a major approach to be able to address loneliness. But more importantly, I think on the plus side, if you have purpose in life and if you have loneliness, you can put yourself in a situation of solitude where you have a purpose. You've decided to be quiet in a still, quiet place, but you have a purpose in life. And if you put these two things together, loneliness, a certain stillness or quietness, if you can imbibe that, inculcate that, and you find a purpose in life, you have that solitude, and which gives rise to a tremendous opportunity, which is, it gives you, because you have now a lot of time and you have the drive and the intellect. So if you can find solitude and you can find purpose in life, loneliness can be a very powerful tool, and really I've used it tremendously to my favor. I live with very little interaction with people, It's a lot of that is by choice. I think now it's close to 6 months that I've really met someone who's not from work and somebody new. So I don't meet new people often, but that does not mean that I'm depressed or sleeping on a bed and quiet. I'm actually working in my head, and I use the rest of the day to do very productive work. And I spend my time with people I want to spend my time with, which are very few and far between, but that's a choice that I've made. So if you're lonely, try to accept it, be still, and find a purpose in life. You can unlock a tremendous amount of potential because you would have unlocked a tremendous amount of time. Because 90% of our time in our lives is actually taken by things which have pretty little consequence. And I found that I have so much time because that's the life I've chosen to lead. So it can be a dark place, it can be a very dark cloud over your head, but it can also be very enabling. So the choice squarely is yours. Not everybody should be lonely, but if you are, you can look for a silver lining in the dark cloud, yeah? So it can be a very, very powerful tool if you're conscious of it. So have a good one. Again, if there is something that you want to talk to me about or me to reflect on something from my experiences in life, do write to me on Facebook Messenger, on a comment on Facebook, on Instagram, on my website rakeshshukla.com, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for your time.